What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another New Comics This Week previews episode. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the new releases for March 22nd, 2023's New Comic Book Day. As always, I'm going to be going over all the major publishers and a ton of the indie ones as well. If you are new to these videos, down below in the description, I've got a chapter list of all the publishers I'm going to be talking about today, so feel free to jump around this video. In addition to that, I'm going to be going over all the new releases, variant covers, and which books I'm going to be grabbing. We have got a very solid week of books to talk about today, and now without further ado, let's talk some comics. And as always, everyone, as I begin to talk about these books, just be aware that some of them that I'm going to be discussing today might not actually be releasing this week for New Comic Book Day. There's still delays and shipment issues happening amongst the different publishers, so once it gets closer to New Comic Book Day, just check with your LCS to see which ones they actually got in. But to kick this list off first, I'm going to be going over Aftershock. They're having a pretty solid week, assuming they all show up at the shop. The first one is Maniac of New York, Don't Call to Come Back, issue number 2. Moving on, we've got Brother of All Men, issue number 3. Then we have Jimmy's Little Bastards, issue number 3. After that is Last Line, number 3. Followed up with that is the 06 Protocol, number 3. Moving on to a brand new series from them, we've got Bram Stoker, Monster Hunter, issue number 1. And now finally from them, this is the last one, we've got Bulls of Beacon Hill, issue number 3. Moving on to Source Point Press, the first one is Nightwalkers, issue number 3. I've heard very good things about this series. I'm sadly not reading it though. My shop doesn't get a lot of Source Point Press, but if you are reading it, let me know what you think about it down below. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Ricardo variant. Moving on, we've got a new series. It's Curse of Cleaver County, issue number 1, and this one's got 7 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a 1 in 10 incentive, and then finally we've got a C2E2 exclusive. Moving on, we've got a new one-shot. It's Etheres, issue number 1. Moving on to Zombicide, Day 1, issue number 3. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B variant. After that's the start of a new series. We've got Deep Dark, issue number 1, and then finally from them, we've got another brand new series. So Source Point Press is having a solid week with new books. We got Ben Mortar and the Thieves of the Golden Table, issue number 1. Moving on to Archie Comics, the first one is a brand new one-shot. We've got Chilling Adventures Presents Pop's Chocolate Shop of Horrors, issue number 1. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Frank Cavilla variant. Moving on, we've got World of Archie, Jumbo Comics Digest, issue number 128, and this one features 2 brand new stories. Moving on to Sumerian Comics, the first one is How I Became a Shoplifter, issue number 3, and this one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Diaz variant, and then finally we've got a cover C Lago variant. Moving on, we've got a new series. It's Pop Scars, issue number 1. This one's got 5 different covers, folks. Here's cover A, we got a cover B variant, and now finally a cover C variant. The only other one they've got this week is the Firstborns, issue number 4. I've talked about this one a couple times, so hopefully it does show up this week. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Vassallo variant. Moving on to Zetascope, the first one is Phoenix Files, issue number 2. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A, we got a cover B Vitorino variant, and now finally a cover C Abundanza variant. After that is Bell from Beyond, issue number 1. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Vitorino variant, and now finally a cover C Royal variant. After that is Titan Comics, and the first one is Kamen Rider 01, issue number 3. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Grego variant. Moving on to Moriarty, Clockwork Empire, issue number 2, and this one's only got a cover A. After that is Vault Comics. They've got one. It's Door to Door, Night by Night, issue number 4. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Hurt variant. I still have only read that first issue, but it really caught me by surprise. I honestly really liked it. It was a good story, solid artwork as well. If you're still reading it, let me know what you think about it. Moving on to Oni Press, they've got Rick and Morty vs. Cthulhu, issue number 4 on the way. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Xander variant, and now finally a cover C Lee variant. Moving on to Mad Cave Studios, they've got Dahlia in the Dark, issue number 4 coming out. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Sheehan variant. Moving on to Red 5, this is the last small indie publisher I'm going to be talking about today, and they've got Fallen, issue number 2 coming out, and this one's only got a cover A. So a lot of these publishers, they're about to kill it this week. They've got some really awesome books coming out. My shop sadly hasn't been getting a lot of some of these smaller indie publishers' comics lately. I'm going to see which ones they get. I'm going to go from there, but at the time of making this video, I don't have anything on my pull list, so right now I'm not going to be getting any of them, but we're going to see which ones they do get in. But next up, let's talk about Image Comics and Boom Studios. All right, all my Image fans, first one today from them is Monstrous, issue number 44. Moving on, we've got Vanish, issue number 5, and for those of you interested in this series, this is the start of a brand new arc, so be on the lookout for it. It's also got 9 different covers, so here's cover A. We got a cover B Warren Johnson variant, and now finally a cover C Scotty Young variant. Moving on to the end of the arc, we've got Undiscovered Country, issue number 24. I always hype this series up. I absolutely love Undiscovered Country. I highly recommend checking it out, but I'm going to be real with you guys. This has probably been my least favorite arc of the series so far. I don't like how all the characters are just in different history timelines. We don't really know what's going on just yet. And to be quite honest, they don't really know what's going on either. So the fact that it's the end of the arc and everything's still up in the air, I'm excited to see how they wrap it up, but I'm just ready to move on to the next one. Here's cover A, A, and then we've got a cover B Casa Grande variant. Moving on, we got the series finale for Stillwater. This is issue number 18. Now, I know I have been very back and forth on this series. As of late, it's been a lot better, and I'm really excited to see how Chip Zdarsky wraps this one up. Moving on to a mini-series finale, we've got Infernal Girl Red, issue number 3. This one's been all right so far. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Monty variant, and now finally a cover C O'Brien Georgeson variant. Moving on to Plush, issue number 5. I did miss out on issue number 4, but outside of that, 1 through 3 was fantastic. If I can find 4, definitely going to grab 5 as well. Here's cover A. We got our cover B Fleeks variant, and now finally a cover C Corona and Stern variant. After that is the Magic Order, volume 4, issue number 3. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Ron Black and White variant, and now finally a cover C Strips variant. After that is Flawed, issue number 6. This is cover A, and then we've got a cover B Williams variant. Now, moving on to this next one, I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be really good. We got a new series. It's Dead Romans, issue number 1. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Marinkovic variant, and now finally an Ivan Tao variant. Next up is Torrent, issue number 2. This is cover A. Here's cover B, the Villalobos variant, and now finally cover C, Leonardi and Renzi variant. And now moving on, this next one, this is the last one coming out from Image this week, so they're having a very solid week in my opinion. We've got Immortal Sergeant, issue number 3. Out of all those issues, I'm for sure going to be getting Undiscovered Country, issue number 24. Stillwater, number 18. Infernal Girl Red, number 3. Plush, issue number 5. And then finally, I'm going to check out Dead Romans, issue number 1. Moving on to Boom Studios, they're having a pretty good week as well. The first one is Grimm, issue number 9. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Florentino variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 black and white Florentino incentive variant. Moving on to the end of the arc, we've got Damn Them All. This is issue number 6. This one's also got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Bergara variant, and now finally a 1 in 25 Adlard incentive variant. Next up is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue number 106. This one's got 7 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Berea variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Bernardo incentive variant. Moving on to The Approach, issue number 5. This one is like a monster series. It kind of reminds me of the old movie The Thing. It's been very fun so far. Definitely check it out if you can. Here's cover A. We got a 1 in 10 Hutchinson Cates incentive variant, and now finally a 1 in 25 Samsung incentive variant. Moving on to Dune, House Arconin, issue number 3. This one's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Murakami variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Swanland incentive variant. This next one's the last one coming out from them this week, and it is the start of a brand new series. We've got The Neighbors, issue number 1. This one's got 7 different covers, folks. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Perez variant, and now finally a cover C UV Franny variant. Out of those issues, I'm going to be grabbing Grimm, issue number 9, although I do think I'm a couple issues behind right now. I missed out on, I believe, 7 and number 8. Definitely going to be grabbing The Approach, number 5, and then I'm going to check out The Neighbors, issue number 1. But next up, let's talk about Dark Horse, IDW, and Dynamite. All right, Dark Horse fans, first one today from them is Blue Book, issue number 2. I'm going to be honest, the first issue was just okay. I had pretty high expectations for it, though. I'm a big fan of Tynion. I love alien stuff as well. Put them together, that's a recipe for a great comic. I love the one that he did on the Department of Truth. Probably my favorite issue of the Department of Truth when he did the alien stuff. This one, it was probably my biggest letdown of the week when I reviewed it for my top 10 list. Allegedly, it is based on a true story, so take that for what it is. Maybe that's why it was a little bit slower. The artwork was very okay as well, so we'll see where the second issue goes. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Hickson variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Rodriguez incentive variant. Moving on, we got Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, issue number 4. After that is Gru, Gods Against Gru, issue number 4. And then finally, we've got a brand new series from them. We've got Order and Outrage, issue number 1. I'm actually pretty excited for this one. It's written by Starlin. Here's cover A, and then we've got a cover B Starlin variant. Out of those issues, I'm going to be grabbing Blue Book, issue number 2, and then I'm going to be checking out Order and Outrage, issue number 1. So moving on to IDW, the first one is TMNT, issue number 138. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Eastman and Campbell variant, and now finally a 1 in 10 Eastman incentive variant. After that, we got Earth Divers, issue number 6. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Lendl variant, and now finally a cover C Campbell variant. Moving on, this is the last one coming out from them this week, so a very small week from them, but it is a new one-shot. We got Godzilla, Best of King Ghidorah, issue number 1. I won't be grabbing any of them, so moving on to Dynamite, the first one is Gargoyles, issue number 4. This one's got 7 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Connor variant, and now finally a Modern Icon variant. Moving on to Vampirella Strikes, issue number 11, and this one's got 14 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Segovia variant, and now finally a cover C Yoon variant. Moving on to Lord of the Jungle, issue number 4. This one's got 9 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Panazian variant, and now finally a cover C Burns variant. Next up, this is the last one coming out from them this week, and it is a series finale. We got Red Sonja, Hell Sonja, issue number 4. This one's got 10 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Moss variant, and now finally cover C Spalletta variant. Out of those issues, I won't be grabbing any of them. So next up, let's talk about DC Comics. And here we go, DC fans. The first one today from them is The Flash, issue number 795, and this one's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Nakayama variant, and then finally cover C D'Alfonso variant. Moving on, we've got Nightwing, issue number 102. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Moore variant, and then finally cover C Campbell variant. After that is Batman Superman, World's Finest, issue number 13. This one's got 5 different covers. I've heard very good things about this series. For me, though, I'm just going to wait for a hardcover or a trade paperback to read this one. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Ward variant, and then finally a cover C Shazam Fury of the Gods movie variant. Next up is Wonder Woman, issue number 797, and this one's got 7 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Tar variant, and then finally cover C Joelle Jones variant. Moving on to Superman, issue number 2. I actually read the first issue, and I really enjoyed it. When I reviewed that first issue, I was telling you guys, I think this might be the first Superman comic that I've ever read in my entire life. I always try to tell you guys, I didn't grow up as a DC kid. I always grew up reading Marvel. And then when I got back into comics, I still picked Marvel right back up. And then I started branching out into more of the indie companies. But, you know, I'm starting to dip my toes a little bit more into the DC world. They've got some really good stuff. Check out their events. That's what I'm doing. I like to read their Black Label stuff as well, but definitely check out the Superman one. It was a very good jump-on point for new readers, in my opinion. This one's got 9 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Daniel variant, and then finally cover C Rodriguez variant. Moving on to Catwoman, issue number 53. This one's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Acuna variant, and then finally a cover C Sweeney Boo variant. Moving on, we've got a new one-shot. It's Batman, One Bad Day, Ra's al Ghul, issue number 1. See, this is stuff that I'm talking about in the DC world. These one-shots, I really like these Batman One Bad Day books. Definitely check them out. A little bit more on the pricier side, but it does have a cardstock cover, and honestly, every time I've picked one up, I felt like I got my money's worth. This one's got 7 different covers, folks. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Lee Williams and Sinclair variant, and then finally a cover C Sienkiewicz variant. And now moving on to the next one, we've got Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 7, and this one's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Oliver Homage variant, and then finally a cover C New Acetate variant. After that is Swamp Thing Green Hill, issue number 3. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Ward variant, and then finally a 1 in 25 Foreman Incentive variant. After that is Black Adam, issue number 9. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Silva variant, and then finally cover C Zhang variant. Moving on to Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats, issue number 6. Here's cover A. We got a cover B Hip variant, and then finally a 1 in 25 Stanton Incentive variant. Moving on, we've got Fables, issue number 158. This is cover A, and then we've got a cover B Buckingham variant. Moving on to GCPD, The Blue Wall, issue number 6. This is cover A, and then we've got a cover B Francavilla variant. After that, we've got an 80-page giant on the way. It's DC's Legion of Bloom, issue number 1. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We get a cover B Chew variant, and then finally cover C Perkins variant. This next one is the last one coming out from them this week. We've got Milestone, 30th Anniversary Special, issue number 1. This one's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We've got a cover B Draper Ivy variant, and then finally a cover C Jones variant. Out of all those issues coming out from them this week, I'm for sure going to be getting Superman issue number 2, and then Batman One Bad Day, Ra's al Ghul issue number 1. Like I said, if you're trying to get into DC, Superman issue number 1 I thought was a great spot for new readers, and these Batman One Bad Day books have all been fantastic, at least the ones that I've read. I've read, I think, pretty much all of them so far. But next up, folks, let's finish this video now with Marvel Comics. So the first one today from Marvel is ASM, issue number 22. This one's got 6 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a Caselli Marvel Icon variant, and then finally 1 in 25 Pachalo Incentive variant. After that is Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 32. This one's got 4 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a Peach Momoko Women's History Month variant, and then finally a Laraz variant. After that is She-Hulk, issue number 11. This is the start of a brand new arc, folks. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Yagawa variant. Moving on to Punisher, issue number 10. I have been a huge fan of this series. Jason Aaron, absolutely killing it on this one. I highly recommend checking it out if you are a Punisher fan. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Hots variant. Moving on to Carnage, issue number 11. This one's also been surprisingly really good as well. I will admit, I like the earlier issues, and then once they started kind of moving a little off-world, wasn't a huge fan of it. But where we're at right now, all that stuff off-world made a ton of sense, and I love what they've done with it so far. Here's cover A. We got Mastrozzo variant, and then finally a Davila Planet of the Apes variant. Moving on to Marauders, issue number 12. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Jacinto variant. After that, we got a Sins of Sinister tie-in. We've got Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, issue number 2. This one's got 5 different covers, and here's cover A. This is the Loeb Anatomy variant, and then finally we've got a 1 in 25 Villa Lobos Incentive variant. After that, we got a series finale. It's Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt, issue number 5. Moving on to a brand new series, we got Doctor Strange, issue number 1. This one's got 7 different covers. Here's cover A. We got an Alex Ross Timeless variant. Oh my god, those are so nice. And then finally, we got a 1 in 50 Chichetto incentive variant. Moving on to Wasp, issue number 3. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Rami Jones variant. The next one I'm going to be going over is Extreme X-Men, issue number 4. Here's cover A. We got a Panazian homage variant, and then finally a 1 in 10 La Roca incentive variant. Moving on to Joe Fixit, issue number 3. Here's cover A, and then we've got a Gist variant. After that is Monica Rambeau, Photon, issue number 4. This is cover A, and then we've got a Davi Go variant. After that, we've got a new one-shot. It's Woman of Marvel, issue number 1. This one's got 5 different covers. Here's cover A. We got a Howl variant, and then finally Caselli Marvel Icon variant. After that is Tiger Division, issue number 5. This is cover A, and then we've got a Limb trading card variant. And now finally a Betsy Cola variant. Now for this next one, this is the last one coming out from Marvel this week. We've got Avengers, Rage of Ultron Marvel Tales, issue number 1. Here's cover A, and then we've got a 1 in 50 Bradshaw incentive variant. So those are all the issues coming out from Marvel. I'd say overall they're having an alright week in my opinion. I'm for sure going to be getting Punisher, issue number 10, and then Carnage, issue number 11, but I'm definitely going to be checking out Doctor Strange, issue number 1 too. But that's a wrap on all these new comics. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Be sure to comment down below which books you're looking forward to most and which ones you think I'm going to be missing out on. If you'd like to check out some more content, I've got 2 more sitting off to the side here. If you're interested in supporting the channel, I got my Patreon listed down below in the description. If you sign up for that, you get early access to all of these videos, you get access to my Discord as well, and I also do monthly giveaways too, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Hope you guys have a great day, and here's a quick preview of the upcoming live stream that I'm going to be featured on from the EXP.
Hey there, Dynamite fans. Come check us out on The Experience this Wednesday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern. I can be 90% sure that the whole gang will be here. You know, Rex, John, AR, me, Nick. We'll see what happens, but we're going to have more of your favorite titles with Dynamite, Marvel, DC, and more, and I'm sure we'll talk about plenty of our favorite stuff. So remember, it's March 22nd. It's a Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, only here on The Experience. Can't wait to see you then.